Good morning. Dark Madam here, and I'm here in small town Texas so that I can show you this. I'm here this morning in Cibolo, Texas. I'm here because not only do I want to explore this cool little town, but I've heard that there is an example of something called a ghost sign here, and I'm really enthused to be looking for it. But first, some history. In 1867, George Schlather built a store on land purchased by his father. In 1882, the Schlathers sold the store to Charles Frome, and this whole area became known as Frome's Store. However, when the railroad came through later on, it was renamed to Cibolo, which is the Spanish word for buffalo. Now, this is the old main ice house. It's very hard to find anything specific about Cibolo and the buildings online. I do know this building is very old, and it's around the side, it's all covered with like tin. So I don't know if this was one of the original locations of Frome's Store or not. And when I said earlier that the railroad came through town, I meant it came directly through the middle of town. So even though the town was founded in the 1860s, not that many people really lived in this area, and it didn't become an incorporated township until 1965. Okay, so what is ghostwriting, and why am I here staring at the side of this blank brick wall? Well, in the 1880s and the 1890s, they didn't have neon signs, they didn't have big flashy billboards. To advertise, they used the side of the building itself. The painters would come into town with their brushes and their ladders and their white lead paint, and they would use these sides of the building to advertise. It's called ghostwriting because the dirt and the grime accumulates and eventually covers up the writing. However, when big thunderstorms pass through, they wash off the dirt and the grime, leaving the vintage lettering on the side of the building. Haven't found the ghostwriting yet, but did find this creepy old house. So here, over some trash cans, I did find the ghost sign. And it's pretty clear. We just had some big rains, so I wonder if it's recently materialized out from its layer of dirt. And I gotta say that the lead paint definitely withstood the test of time. It's still very white. And I really wonder if the artist who painted this over 100 years ago ever thought that his art would be here this long. These just are so cool to look at, and they really, really are nostalgic, harkening back to a Bible. Many of the ghost signs are starting to permanently fade away, but there are people working to preserve them. And if you live in small town America or even near an old downtown, there's probably one near you. For a small town, Cibolo has some great places to hang out, get a drink, and just chill under the Texas sky. But while poking around, I did find more writing, although this isn't quite the ghost writing because this is a sign, and it does say E.H. Schlather and Sons. And the Schlathers were the people who set up the original store here in Cibolo. So I wonder if this was the original store. There's no historical signs or anything, but now it's a place called Ernie's. If you know more about the history of Cibolo and the specific buildings, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to find out more. I do know I had a great time poking around here, and I found some really cool finds like these old gas pumps. Anybody who's into that type of thing. I also found this great old Ford. I don't know if it's a Model T or a little later, But it's just sitting here and it's in great shape. It looks amazing. Yeah, these are definitely old. Back before we had unleaded gasoline, that's for sure. I'm the Dark Madam of Dark Madam Explorations. Nothing here but me and the old bricks.